Guys, this is Bamdeep. Today I will explain data types and the concept of variable declaration, and also I will tell you what is actually valid and invalid declaration of the variables. Okay, so let's start. So first I want to tell you actually what is data types. Okay, so C contains following data types, which is categorized into four, means derived, basic, void, and user defined data types. These are the categories of the data types. So first I want to tell you what is actually data type. Okay, so the simple definition is a data type is the data container which contains the different values under itself. Okay, different type of values under itself, you can say. And these are derived, basic, void, and user defined. Okay, so first actually I want to tell you actually what is derived data type. So those data type which are already derived in C programming language, and just implement those values, those data types like pointer, function, arrays, and we use special type of symbols for implementing derived data types. Like if we want to use array, then we have to use square bracket. If we want to use a function, then we have to use parentheses. If we want to implement the pointers, then we have to use hysteresis. Okay, so this is the example of derived data type. And the basic data type are here. You can see that the if we define any variable, then we have to define that variable of its type, means which type of variable we want to actually declare, like integer, character, float. These are the basic data types. Okay, and void is the return type. Is if we use void before any function, that's mean that function will not return any kind of value from them. Okay, from itself. And user defined data types, like those data type which is defined by the user and implemented by the user, like structure, union, enumeration, data definition, like this. Okay, so you can actually, each topic has a huge topic in itself, and I will explain each of one with the example with the proper definition in further classes. So it's your initial it's I'm just giving the overview still. Okay, so I will explain each of one with the example. So here you can see that I have another table which denotes the data type, which is this. Format string is the most important part. Okay, so that's why I have to explain the data types, because I wanna explain these data types. Okay, means whenever we want to use any data, when any variable, then we have to use any type, means which type of variable actually we want to use. And if we want to print that variable, then we have to use the format format string for that. Okay, so let's character type contains, if we want to use character type variable, then we have to use %c. This is the format string, and this is the data type, means character, and this is the size of the character variables, and unsigned character, integer, like this. Okay, and this denote the range, means how much value a data a container can be hold. Okay, a variable can be hold. This is the range. Okay, so you can see entire thing through the diagram. Okay, through the table. And here you can see that unsigned character also usual. When we want to when we want to print a character type variable, or when we want to assign the values or constant value to the character, then we have to use %c. Okay, similarly you can see for percentage, for integer type, for unsigned integer, for long, for float, like this. Okay, so it is the most important part. You have to learn it, because in further classes whenever I will implement the program, this will be useful for you. Okay, so integer, float, the main data types are character, integer, and float double. These four you have to remember it. Okay, and it is not too much important to remember the range. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you just by I'm going to tell you entire thing through the example. Okay, So here you can see that I have a program which denotes here you can see that this is actually first I want to tell you what is the declaration and initialization. Okay, so here you can see that I declare variable a b as an integer. This is the variable declaration, and this entire things means character float. This is the variable declaration, and we providing value 5, constant value 5 to the variable a. This is initialization. Okay, so here you can see that the uh, declaration and initialization of those variable that I have declared. Okay, so after that I am here just printing those values. Okay, so you can see that I declared variable a is equal to 5, b is equal to plus 10. This is actually valid. You can see that this is valid declaration. But if we want to we want to declare data type like this, so like a percentage has as a is equal to 2 point something, because it's integer type variable, then and it's a float type variable, so this is the invalid declaration. Okay, so that's why I have been I did I actually I commented it. Okay, so now okay, so here you can see that this is the declaration, and this is the valid declaration, and this is the valid declaration, this is invalid declaration. Okay, so similarly you can see the entire valid declaration. Okay, so when you want to declare variable, then you have to follow the given structure that I'm explaining. Okay, so after that I'm just printing those values, and now I'm going to run this program. So here you can see that my program is successfully run, and you can see that the integer values are 5 and 10, the character values are a and star, the float values are this, and the double values are this. Okay, so it's mean our program was correct, and I want to tell you here I'm using \t \n. Okay, so I want to tell you what is the meaning of this. \t is usual for providing the horizontal tab between them, horizontal space. Okay, and slash n is useful for printing the output in next line. Okay, this is useful for next line, and this is also a format for printing the data. Okay, here you can write something whatever you want to write, and after that you can use %d %c according to the variable requirement. Okay, so here I'm printing is integer type variable, so that's why I'm using %d, and here I'm using character type variable, so that's why I'm using here I'm printing character type variables, so that's why I'm using %c. And similarly you can see that for float type variables I'm using f and float, and like this. Okay, so here now this was the concept of variable declaration, valid and invalid declaration. So if you have any confusion, any query related to videos, so please subscribe my channel and put them. I will respond as soon as possible. And thanks for watching, and please don't forget for subscribe. Okay, bye.